welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're just finding me. My name is Brett Rothschild, and I'm a doctor of physical therapy and the creator of Knit for Life. So today we're going to talk about 10 things that I think every knitter should stop doing if they want to prevent pain in their neck, shoulders, wrists, hands, fingers, and find more comfort in every stitch. So before we get started, if you're experiencing any severe pain, numbness, tingling, or other concerning symptoms, please seek medical advice. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose or treat any medical condition. So my goal is simple. It's to help you make informed decisions about your health so you can continue knitting comfortably for years to come. So let's get started. Number 1, stop waiting until it hurts. So many times there are things we can do to prevent pain before it starts, but many of us wait until we're already hurting before we take action. Pain is often the last signal. Your muscles, your joints, tissues may have already been under stress for quite some time before you notice the discomfort and have pain. So instead of waiting until you have pain, I recommend taking regular breaks while you knit. So for most people, every 20 to 30 minutes is a good start. Some knitters find that certain fibers or needle types or projects may cause more strain, and they may benefit from shorter intervals. The most important thing is find what works for you. Don't just keep knitting and knitting until your body forces you to stop. So what can we do during our breaks? Stretching is fantastic, but don't forget about movement. Just general movement. Can you march your legs? Can you move your hands around? Get blood flowing to those muscles. Can you roll your shoulders down and back? Can you stand up and walk around a lap around your house? So even 30 seconds of movement can make a big difference and really help you. When we knit, we're often holding the same posture for long periods of time, and movement helps improve circulation. It gives other parts of your body a chance to participate in the movement. So maybe you need to get up and fill your water bottle. Maybe you take a quick lap around the house. Maybe you simply just uncross your legs and cross the other one over and change positions. All of these things do count. So if you've been here before, you've probably heard me talk about movement breaks. My Knit for Life app does provide reminders and recommendations for stretches and movements, but you don't need an app to get started. You can just set a timer. Really listen to your body, and remember that prevention is always easier than recovery. Number 2, stop looking down at your knitting all the time. So of course we have to look at our knitting, but if you're constantly looking down at your project, your pattern, your phone, your tablet, your neck is going to pay the price. So when your head is in that forward position, your neck muscles have to work so much harder to support your head in that position. Now multiply that by an hour, 2 hours of knitting, and there's a lot of extra work for your neck muscles. So one of the easiest solutions is to bring your knitting closer to you. You can use pillows, folded blankets, anything around your house, rolled up towels, posture supports to elevate your project. Personally, I love using like a nursing pillow, my boppy pillow. This one happens to work well for me because of where it sits on me, but find what works for you. When I use my posture pillow, it allows me to relax my shoulders. It brings my knitting closer to me without me having to hunch forward. So you don't need fancy equipment. A rolled up blanket can work really nicely. The goal is just simply bringing your knitting closer to you without your eyes forcing your body to do all the work. Number 3, stop holding your arms up the entire time you knit. So many knitters don't realize how much work their shoulder muscles are doing during a knitting session. So even holding your arms slightly elevated for a long period of time can cause significant strain on your body. Your shoulders should not be doing an endurance workout every single time you sit down to knit. So this is another reason I love pillows, posture supports, armrests. Supporting your arms reduces the workload on your neck and your shoulder muscles and really can make a big difference. So small changes can make a really big difference over the course of a long knitting session. So even a little bit of support can go a long way. Number 4, stop knitting in poor lighting. This one is huge. So poor lighting contributes to discomfort more than people realize. When we can't see our stitches clearly, we start to compensate. And what does that look like? We lean forward, we squint, we bring the project closer to us, we tense our neck and our shoulders. So good lighting isn't just about your eyes, it's about your whole body. It's about helping your entire body just stay relaxed during your knitting session. Personally, I love using a neck light. I love my Lumos neck light, which I can post below. But neck lights are fantastic when you're knitting in lower light situations. Natural light is always my first choice. It's wonderful, but when it starts to fade, just make sure you have some type of task lighting available. Anything that helps you see your stitches more clearly is worth considering. So while we're talking about seeing clearly, let's also talk about reading glasses. So as I've gotten older, my close-up vision isn't quite what it used to be. I have reading glasses everywhere, next to my knitting, in my knitting bag, next to my knitting favorite spots in my house, my favorite knitting chair, in my purse. Pretty much every place that I could possibly knit or have to read something, I have these glasses. I have them in different strengths available. So I have them in 1.0s, 1.5, 2.0s. And depending upon what I'm working on, I need a different strength. They help me see my stitches, read my patterns, reduce my eye strain. So if you need reading glasses, use them. Your eyes and your body will thank you. Number 5. Stop clenching your jaw when you knit. This is a big one for me. I tend to carry a lot of tension in my jaw, my neck, my shoulders, especially when I'm concentrating. Have you ever noticed yourself clenching your jaw and your shoulders when you knit? Are your shoulders creeping up towards your ears? A lot of us carry tension in these areas of our body without even realizing it. So for me, it happens a lot when I try to knit something new, maybe learn a new technique, a new lace pattern, color work. I'm trying to figure out a chart of some sort. So the more I concentrate, the more my body tenses up. And sometimes I notice myself knitting and my shoulders are like practically touching my ears. And so when that happens, I take a breath, I consciously relax. If you're using the Knit for Life app or setting your own timer every 20 to 30 minutes, use that reminder as a body check. Ask yourself, is my jaw clenched? Are my neck muscles tight? Are my shoulders tense? Where am I carrying tension? So just take a slow, deep breath, and you'll be surprised how much just breathing can help relax your body. Number 6, stop gripping your needles so tightly. I definitely do this when I'm learning a new technique. So for some reason, I convince myself that gripping the needles tighter is gonna make me knit better. Or maybe I notice I've dropped a stitch and suddenly I'm squeezing the needles harder. So instead, just pause and ask yourself, can I hold these needles just a little more gently? Can I reduce my grip just by 10%? Can I soften my thumbs? Can I relax the finger that's tensioning my yarn? Small reductions in tension can make a huge difference over time. Your hands don't need to work harder than necessary, and a softer grip often means less strain and more comfort. Number 7, stop working on the same project for hours every day. I said it. I'm a big fan of being a multi-project knitter. Now at heart, I'm a single project knitter. I'm a monogamous knitter. I love finishing a project, moving on to the next. But from an injury prevention standpoint, I highly recommend having at least 2 projects going. So maybe it's 2 knitting projects, maybe it's a knitting project, a crochet project. The goal is just simply to add some variety. Different projects challenge your body in different ways. Different yarn weights, different needle sizes, different needle materials, different fibers, different project sizes. So the muscles that you use while you're knitting a sock on small needles are very different than the muscles you use while knitting a sweater on larger needles. Perhaps a rustic wool behaves differently than a superwash merino. A lightweight hat feels different than a large shawl or blanket. All these variables change how your body works. So if you're experiencing discomfort and you're a dedicated monogamous knitter, try rotating your projects occasionally and see how you feel. Sometimes just simply changing what you're working on can make a big difference for your body, and you might be surprised. Number 8, stop stretching without strengthening. So stretching is fantastic. I love stretching. I recommend stretching, but stretching is only one piece of the puzzle. As a PT, I also recommend building strength and endurance in the muscles that support your knitting. So that means strengthening the muscles in your upper back, your forearms, your hands, your core. These muscles really help support the repetitive movements we perform while we knit. Building endurance allows them to tolerate those demands more comfortably and for long periods of time. So just a few minutes a couple times a week can really make a big difference for you. So in my opinion, prevention is always worth the time you invest in it. Number 9, stop sitting still for hours at a time. So sometimes the problem isn't your posture. Sometimes the problem is simply just staying in one position for too long. So even perfect posture can become uncomfortable if you hold it for hours. Our bodies were designed to move. And movement improves circulation. Movement helps nourish our joints. Movement helps recovery. If you change positions regularly, your body will thank you. Stand up, walk around, maybe move in your chair, stretch a little bit, just shifting positions. Keep moving. Number 10, stop assuming there's one perfect knitting style. I get this question all the time. Is continental knitting better? Is English knitting better? Is Portuguese knitting better? The truth is there's no universally knitting perfect style. So the best knitting style is the one that's going to work for your body. We're all different. We all have different strengths, different makeups, different limitations, different movement patterns, different histories. Some of us have arthritis, some of us have old injuries, some of us simply just move differently than others. And what works beautifully for one person may not work for another. So when someone tells you that one style is superior, just remember that your experience is what matters most. Pay attention to how your body feels. That's your best guide. So takeaways. Knitting should not be an endurance contest. You don't earn extra points for knitting through discomfort. Your finished object won't be any better because you ignored your body's signs and pain. Small changes done consistently are usually more effective than any magic tool, stretch, or exercise. Take breaks, support your body, improve your lighting, strengthen your muscles, move often, and most importantly, listen to what your body is telling you. Your body is pretty smart if you pay attention to it. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What area of your body tends to feel the most tension or soreness when you knit? And which of these tips are you going to try first? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending some time with me today and listening to me gab. And as always, I hope you can find comfort in every stitch. Bye now.